A day of U-turns, a day of versions. The NDA on the Rohingya refugee flashpoint has been caught in a massive controversy. The day began with Union Minister Hardeep Puri tweeting about gifting Rohingya refugees in India flats built for the economically weaker section of society in New Delhi. Free electricity, free water, free TV, and even 24-hour police protection. The minister's tweet triggered a massive backlash, with many expressing dismay at the government for having gone back on their promise to deport illegal Rohingyas, who the NDA told Parliament and Supreme Court were a threat to national security, India's security. Even Hindu refugees who have fled xenophobia in Pakistan, a genocide as it were in Pakistan, were outraged. They are living in Jodhpur, they are living in Majnu Ka Tilla in Delhi, and their reaction isn't surprising. As for years, these Hindu refugees have lived near open sewers without access to piped water or power. And what are they awaiting for all these years? Rehabilitation. Viewers, after this protest from the refugee Hindus who felt that they had been cheated by a government that was giving free power, electricity, protection, television, and a flat to Rohingyas, and the concomitant outrage amongst a large number of ordinary taxpayers, the government made a clarification. The Home Ministry tweeted saying the Delhi government in fact proposed shifting Rohingya refugees to the Bakkarwala EWS flat complex, but the centre in fact insisted that they will stay at detention centres pending deportation. In a series of tweets, the Home Ministry made it clear that there are no flats being gifted to Rohingyas. Listen in to the BJP's clarification.
jurisdiction जो है संविधान ये क्षेत्राधिकार गृह मंत्रालय और होम मिनिस्ट्री का देता है। तो ऐसा क्यों है कि ये 29 जुलाई को जो बैठक होती है, इस बैठक में दिल्ली के चीफ सेक्रेटरी अध्यक्षता करते हैं और जल्दबाजी में आनन फानन में एक फैसला करते हैं। मोदी जी की सरकार की बिल्कुल स्पष्ट नीति रही है कि राष्ट्र सुरक्षा से कोई समझौता नहीं होगा। ये लोग हमारी देश की अखंडता के लिए खतरा है।
The opposition is not buying the clarification, mocking the dramatic U-turn. The AAP Sarkar released a note by the Principal Secretary of Home, dated the 2nd of August. This note, viewers, which is here in my hand, as per the Aam Aadmi Party, shows that the Delhi Chief Secretary was specifically asked to allot the flats, but by bypassing the minister, the Delhi minister, Manish Sisodia, and approaching the LG directly. Now listen in to the AAP calling out what they believe is the centre's hypocrisy on Rohingyas. Remember, viewers, when the AAP wanted to give refuge to the Rohingyas in the union capital, the BJP attacked the AAP, saying that it was undermining the nation's security by appeasing the minority community. Now the AAP says it's the centre that is keen on rehabilitating the Rohingyas, and they're trying to do this for motives best known to them. Listen in to what the AAP says.
और अपने देश के लोगों को सुरक्षा देने के लिए इनके पास कुछ नहीं है। रोज कश्मीर के अंदर कश्मीरी पंडित भाइयों को चुन चुन के मारा जा रहा है। ये वहां सुरक्षा नहीं दे पा रहे हैं। ये रोहिंग्याओं को लिखा हुआ है 24 आवर सुरक्षा देंगे। मोदी सरकार के मंत्री जी भारत के गरीबों को ये मुफ्त की सुविधा नहीं दे पा रहे, इनको वो मुफ्त की रेवड़ी लग रही है। रोहिंग्याओं को ये फ्लैट बांट रहे हैं, रोहिंग्याओं को ये 24 घंटे सिक्योरिटी देने का इनके मंत्री ऐलान कर रहे हैं।
Well, breaking news coming in, viewers. Twist after twist to this Rohingya row. The BJP now releases a letter written by the Centre 2021 letter saying it's not the BJP but it's the Aam Aadmi Party that actually demanded flats should be gifted to the Rohingyas. Let me go straight across to Priya. Priya, what is this letter that the BJP is tweeting, which seems to be from the centre?
Right. Now, this letter has been written to the chairman of NDMC and by the Deputy Secretary of the Home Department. Now, what does this letter say? The subject of this letter is what gives away the important part. Allotment of all EWS flats situated at Bakarwala village, Delhi for the purpose of restriction centre. Now, this letter mentions that I am directed to enclose herewith a copy of letter received from FRRO Delhi, where it is intimated that presently there are 2 restriction centres, one in Seva Sadan, one in Shehzadabad, where movements of foreign inmates are restricted till arrangements for their deportation are made. Now, this letter goes on to mention how illegal migrants of Bangladesh who are detected and identified by Delhi police are restricted in these 2 areas. This capacity is to accommodate 40 inmates. Presently, there are 82 illegal foreign inmates that are lodged in this area. It goes on to say that the office of the FRRO is constrained to restrict the movement. On the 22nd of February, a joint inspection of representatives of Social Welfare Department has been made to search for a suitable accommodation for permanent restriction center for foreign inmates at Bakarwala village, Delhi. The proposed site was having almost 240 flats built recently under EWS category owned by the New Delhi Municipal Council. It is requested to consider the request to allot the Barat Ghar along with all EWS flats to accommodate the foreign illegal refugees, that is the Rohingyas in this case.
So you're saying that the proposal was really to basically restrict, not give anything, but restrict these people in the Bakarwala facility or the apartment complex or what have you for EWS till the time they were going to be deported. Okay, that's very interesting. And I want to go straight across, therefore, to Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma, let me just take you back in time a little bit. In an affidavit to the Supreme Court in 2017, the centre described Rohingyas' illegal immigration as having a serious national security ramifications. Yet, Hardeep Puri, Union Housing Minister, tweeted saying all Rohingya refugees would be given flats. Why did he do so this morning? What compelled him to do so at 7:30 in the morning?
You know, Rahul, you're a very astute journalist, and I'm not, given to flattery, but I have to say this, that the clarification from the Ministry of Home Affairs came in, and I think that is the final word on this. Are Rohingyas illegal migrants? Yes. Will Rohingyas not have any access to Aadhaar cards, ration cards, but will only have alien UNHRC cards? Yes. It is the Delhi government which has to declare Kanchan Punj, where currently 1,100 odd Rohingyas are staying, as a detention center.
That we have read. But Sanju Verma, allow me to ask you a counter question. I'm still on the point of why Hardeep Singh Puri, who is a very senior minister, housing minister no less, he was aviation minister before this, he has been pressed into crisis management a number of times by your own government. Why did Mr. Puri first of all tweet all of this, then tag the PMO? He goes on to tag the Manipur CM and the Ministry of Information Broadcasting, as also goes on to mock government baiters for suggesting that the NDA's commitment to Sabka Saath is compromised. Why would he do all of this if he was not actually taking credit for this? I can't understand.
You know, Rahul, you're trying to draw me into a war of words, but I will not get into that. I've got into trouble earlier. I will just say this, and suffice to say that the final word on this is from the Ministry of Home Affairs, which has categorically said that the Rohingyas are not being moved to Bakarwala. They continue to be illegal migrants. With respect to Mohammed Taimunullah versus Union of India case, of April 2021, just 20 seconds. In Jammu and Kashmir, there are about 40,000 odd Rohingya families, and we are in the process of following judicial process as per Supreme Court directive and giving them back to Myanmar, because Myanmar has recognized some of these Rohingyas as their own. So also I want to clarify, there is no Supreme Court stay, but the Supreme Court has said that you need to be in a dialogue with the counterparty, Myanmar in this case, and once the due process is followed, you can deport them back, which is what the government of India is in the process of doing.
Okay, Sanjay Jha. Sanjay Jha, quick response to what Sanju Verma says. Sanju Verma says, look, the final word has been put out by the Ministry of Home Affairs. That's the end of the debate.
Rahul, I actually have met Mr. Hardeep Puri on a couple of occasions, and I need to tell you on your program, he's probably the most distinguished gentleman in Mr. Modi's cabinet. He also, by the way, understands international relations and foreign policy probably better than anybody else in the government. I think it's a tragic manifestation of the way this government works. I mean, the truth is that when I read Mr. Puri's tweet, I was delighted because at the end of the day, you know, Rahul, the issue is not about Rohingyas being given a home and security. I think every refugee in this country should be given a proper status in terms of their social and economic existence. So the simple question is, and we all know that Rohingyas have been a victim of military genocide. The United Nations has called it as basically ethnic cleansing. And if India as a country where Bangladesh is actually taken in the majority of the refugees, if India is going to struggle with even these basic elementary acts of humanity, it makes us look like a country that is not really deserving of the status we talk about.
Sanjay Jha was actually happy.
This government is hypocritical.
Okay.
By the way, this whole fast.
Rahul, I'll just say this. In India, we have this concept of Vasudev Kutumbakam. The world, is a small community at the end of the day. We also believe in Atithi Devo Bhava. But at the same time, I may sound very crude, but while we believe that India has to be a home for persecuted minorities from Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, we are not a dumping ground. We are not a signatory.
Okay, not a dumping ground. Viewers, I've run out of time. I've run out of time.
We are not a signatory to the
I don't know if Hardeep Singh Puri...
So we don't need to house Rohingyas.
We have no clarity because, Hardeep Singh Puri has only come out and tweeted again a second time just about an hour back where he says that, look, whatever the Home Ministry has said, those are the facts. He hasn't still deleted his older tweet. Now, what made him tweet originally, we don't know. Was the U-turn, the denial, etc., on the back of a backlash? We don't know. But it does open up a question. If Hardeep Singh Puri believes that giving Rohingyas flats is a humanitarian gesture, then, and obviously disproves the propaganda, then why actually allow the other side to play the game with the BJP by now coming out and contradicting him? So you're suggesting that now the BJP is not all those things that Hardeep Singh Puri said that they had become. I don't know, viewers. Interesting story, isn't it? I'll take a short break. News are coming up.